This conference will now be recorded.
It's really confusing when I have to submit my timesheets and my numbers are completely separate. I guess, do you guys have any questions?
Yeah, what are you proposing your base to be, Amanda?
$25 an hour.
Okay, and that's what the board, I talked to them, that's what they approved for you on that, so that matches with what they have.
Yep, it would be $25 an hour and then the 3.3% off of that wage, which comes to 82 cents, I believe, if my math is correct.
82 cents is 3.3 of 25%.
If that's what if I did my math correctly. So then the total that I would set my wages for would be $25.82. Which is still, if I would like to point out, on the low end of just for environmental health. I handle two departments. I handle environmental health and planning and zoning. So I think that that's more than justified. And I think that that's what I'm worth.
Okay, 83 cents.
I didn't round up. I went with, it came out to like 0.825, so I didn't round up. I rounded down actually.
We'll pass this around because this is what people make. And what's highlighted is what I highlighted some different hourly rates of people in the county that are just different people. You see the names of them. So if you average that out, it came to 25.93.
Between all the highlighted ones you're saying?
Yeah.
That's the average, 25.93.
That's current, so I guess I'm good with the 25 and then that 3.3 on top of that. I would be good with that, but.
Did you say 82 or 83 on top of it? I just want to make it as accurate as possible for my budget.
If you requested 82, it'd be 82, and 25, 82. That's what you requested. As far as my thought is, like, good hard word.
These are just county employees, but, you know.
Yeah.
They're all hourly employees throughout the county.
Right, but they're doing different jobs. I don't know how that would fit into it.
Well,
But all of these employees, well, I wouldn't say all of them,
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the others.
if
but I
you can let me speak.
Okay.
All of these employees are not double department heads, and I am. I handle two departments in this county, and I'm the only person that does it. And that's difficult at times. And again, I think that's what I'm worth.
Yeah.
I am someone who is more than willing to take on tasks that people for the last 40 years in this department haven't been able to do or haven't wanted to do.
I guess to answer your question, Mike, is the reason I picked these out, I could have picked different ones out, but these are people that have, and I hate to say an important role, because everybody has an important role, but, they have, let's just pick on Emily Bergman, okay? She has a key role in the sheriff's office, and she's a very important person in there. But Emily doesn't put together a budget and figure out her budget, and, or two budgets, and come to us sitting here like this, so. So yes, Amanda is getting paid less than a lot of people that aren't having to figure out a budget and come here. That was my only reason for picking those people out, that's it.
I think this document has more bearing than that one, you know.
It probably does, yes.
Just because it's
And that's,
what she does.
that's 100% why I wanted to supply it, because the other paperwork, I should say that I submitted to you, is null and void. I sent you guys an email with stuff. You guys cannot look at that because it could be considered discriminatory because it is based off of personal things. So, whatever I sent you, you guys can't actually take that into account. So
I think this document has bearing.
that one does because it is, at least for the environmental health side, which I know you guys are not deciding, that was decided on last Friday, but at least for the environmental health side, it compares job to job in county-based agencies. I couldn't look anything up for the planning and zoning side. I normally use ISAC, but my wage was not submitted to ISAC last year, so it was not reported to the state, so I was not able to get a comparison on that.
Who does that?
Not me. I don't know who, I believe it's the auditor, but I wouldn't put 100% on that because I'm not 100% sure. But since she handles budget, I would think that it would go through her office, but I might be wrong. Please don't take that with a grain of salt, because I am not 100% sure.
Did that GIS ever get completed from last year?
Yeah, so I have justifications for this raise. I've got things that I've wrote down on why I think I deserve it. So number one, I've already kind of spoke on this, but my experience, my work ethic, you don't ever need to worry about the job getting done in my office. I'm willing to take on tasks that people have not been willing to do. I'm the only individual in the county that performs my duties, which becomes stressful. Creating and helping in the process of the wind ordinance, and then when the wind ordinance actually does pass, being able to sit and review as the only person in my office, all of the paperwork that's going to be required from this wind company is going to be excruciatingly long and tedious. And again, I mean, the stacks of papers per wind turbine are probably going to be about that thick. Just because they have to submit all of the stuff that they also submit to the state, to the county. And that's a ton of paperwork. So updating and making more relevance to the latest version, which was in 1998 of the zoning ordinance. I have that in my log of things that I want to do because it is outdated and it's not entirely relevant to what we have going on in 2024 and 2025 coming up. The creation of the non-existing zoning map for the county. That's always been kind of like a winter project. This last winter, it was really difficult because I was also battling trying to get all of my files 100% organized. And then somewhere along the line, I don't know when IT was switched out, but something along the lines of like IT made it to where I don't actually have access to, I have access to the map itself, but I don't have access to editing it. So I need to somehow get on board with that. And that's always been a winter project for me because I'm so busy 3 other quarters of the year. I want to create a solar ordinance in the future because solar is becoming a more popular thing. So I feel like we're going to need an ordinance for that. And then something that I've always wanted to do, and I just haven't been able to get around to it, is digitizing all my files. Because in case something happens, I want them to at least be backed up on the server. And this would include all of the paper files in the 3.5 file cabinets that I have in my office, all of the Board of Adjustment items that go as far back on record as possible, so that includes minutes, agendas, everything. And all of the zoning commission items as far back as I have them, the land use agreement, the comp plan, absolutely everything I have in my office, I want to be able to take it and put it right onto a file on my folder, or a file folder on my computer, and then I also want to be able to put it on the courthouse website. So I have definite justifications for the direction I want to take this department, and I've already taken it so far, so. Yeah. And all of that right there is 100% justified for, I think, the $25.82 an hour. You guys would spend more time trying to train someone brand new than just upping rate, in my opinion.
So to be clear, the rate would be 25. and the cost-
$25 plus
And
the cost of living,
increase
so
would be
it would
on
bring
top.
me up to $25.82. And that's what I would set my budget for both environmental health and planning and zoning.
Okay.
So you guys, like, the zoning side would obviously pay half of my salary, even though I'm not salaried, and then the environmental health side would pay half of that. Since I am split.
Still working on all your grants?
Yeah, so there's not a lot of grants out there for zoning, it's just not something that takes place, but environmental health, yeah, I work on that grant all the time. That's my main source of, revenue, which I guess I should talk about that. I have up my revenue budget, from previous years, because I'm bringing in way more money than probably this department has ever seen. And I've had to amend it the last couple of years just because it's really difficult to determine how many water tests I'm gonna take every single year and how many septics are gonna go in and how many, planning and zoning commission meetings or building permits are gonna come into my office, because that's all dependent on people out in the county. But I did up my budget, to the previous year it was set to 20,000. This year the total would be 31,500. And again, I had to amend my budget last year on the environmental health side quite a bit. Like, quite a bit.
You're still doing well closings?
Yep, well closures, I'm still doing well renovations. We're actually able to reimburse and get money back from the state for shock chlorination, well assessments now. So we actually have more things that we can reimburse for. And then the state actually upped our reimbursement rates. So for every well test that I take, I actually get $155 back compared to $75, what I got previously. So I mean, that makes a huge difference, and that's why I figured I would up the budget. Because that grant is the main source of income, but I also have been meeting the last couple years, all of my zoning budgets. So.
You're at 30, for your expenses, you're at, where did I have that? At the end of November, you're at 38% of your budget for your expenses. You're gonna be under 50% end of the year then, or
Yeah, it should be.
in December, I would think.
Yeah.
It would be.
Well, she's gonna be gone for.
And
most of
my
it.
budget's gonna look real nice for expenses, because yeah, I won't be here,
Good
so.
at the halfway point, you should be under.
When this was submitted to me, or this paperwork was submitted to me, zoning was at, let's see here, yeah, 40%, and then between, the the environmental health side, I would say it's, yeah, about 38%. So even sitting at those numbers, I'm still under 50% for my budget. And yeah, I won't be here for, 3 months, so they'll pay me out, for, whatever I have left on, whatever I've accrued. And then after that, I will have to actually end up back paying for insurance payments and stuff like that, so. Whatever I accrue will be paid out to me, and then after that, there will be no paycheck to myself. So. I'm thinking it'll be about 2 paychecks, and then the other, let's see, the other 4 or 5, whatever it is, will not be actually paid out to me, so my expenses will look even better, because I won't be getting paid.
You make sure you get your insurance check wrote.
Yeah, so
So you don't lose your insurance.
Yeah, so I have already talked to Lindsay about that. We're probably gonna handle it the same way that we did the last time. She just had me write out a lump sum when I got back. So,
Oh, you don't have to pay it by every month?
so I don't think so. I mean, the last time I did it, she just had me write out whatever I owed.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, I can have her send me a bill every single month and I can pay that, but that's how we did it last time. So.
I thought the personnel policy said they need to have it by the 15th, otherwise you lose your insurance, and I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I guess I can have her look into that, and I'll make sure to pay that if I have to.
If they're good with that, that's okay,
Yeah, I don't
I'm just
know.
thinking of you, I don't want you to lose your insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can double check on that.
I did the math, it's like a 14% increase, is what I'm correct.
I'm also extremely low compared to everybody else.
Yeah. Very numbers.
Yep. And I know that sounds like a really high increase, but my budget compared to other departments in this county is probably one of the simplest, even though it's 2 departments. So, I mean, without everything, I mean, I've got, I guess I don't know the math after not doing wages or anything, but I've probably got less than $100,000 in my budget. I mean, there are other departments in this county that have millions, so it's not gonna be hard to finagle my budget, because it's already at the lowest possible thing. I don't usually plan on, having all of this extra money. I want it to be pretty much set for what I'm gonna be using that year, so.
Any workshops or?
For zoning?
Yeah.
So there's a conference every single year that we go to. I don't know when the next one is. They just had it. I was not able to go to that one just because of, I had some conflicts, but, I do plan to go next year. It's a great
It's
conference.
usually later.
It's usually sometime in like it's usually in about when we start trying to get busy in like late May or June. So they haven't set a date or told us where it's located yet, but I usually go to that conference. And they're talking about solar and wind and the things that are all becoming prominent. I think at this last one, which would have been really beneficial for me to go, but they were talking about Bitcoin. But again, I had conflicts, so I wasn't able to go. The zoning, they usually don't offer a lot of classes like they do with environmental health. With the zoning side of my job, I'm not required to keep up on, continuing education units or anything like that. I have that agreement with the state and environmental health that I have to take classes every single year. I have to meet a certain continuing education unit.
When you mentioned Bitcoin, how is this?
I haven't heard anything back yet. We're waiting to see if he's gonna submit the environmental impact study that they voted on. Again, the noise ordinance was, I guess, determined by you guys, since that would be something that you guys would choose if you wanted to do. But I haven't received back the environmental impact study. I've actually tried to call him multiple times and he's never called me back. So I have tried to reach out, but I haven't heard anything. Yeah, and the wind ordinance is going really well. I actually have a meeting with him today to kind of talk over some things. There are some changes that I think I want to make to what he has submitted to me. So you guys probably won't have your eyes on it until next year, just because he's going to want to make those changes depending on how severely they will be. But it's coming along really well. It looks really nice. It's organized really well. It's just there's some tweaks I need him to make.
So if he makes those changes and you're on maternity leave, will you forward those on to us? Or we just won't see it until you get back?
You probably just won't see it until I get back. He's probably gonna take his time on it if there are some tweaks, because he's aware of that too. So the moment I submit it to you guys, it does become like 100% a public document. And then if I submit it to you and then you guys start getting phone calls about this stuff that you're not actually prepared to answer yet, because I haven't talked to you about it, that's probably gonna be really difficult.
What if they come in on January 2nd, want to buy commits?
Sydney's gonna take over.
Oh, so you're gonna sell the
Yep.
commits too?
Yep, so we have people come,
Yeah.
I have,
I got all the documents.
Oh, you do,
Yep.
okay.
yep, I have her covering for me.
Alright.
Yep, so like my office will not be shut down. I mean,
Yep.
it will be shut down, but it will not be shut down.
Right, okay.
Environmental health, Jessa or Christine Hackenmiller is going to be vetting phone calls, and then if it needs further review, Jessa will try and step in on that. I'm gonna be sending out a letter to my contractors, letting them know that I'll be gone. As of, I guess my last day is gonna be next Monday, and then I'll be taking Thursday and Friday next week as vacation. And I'll be letting them know that if they have an urgent septic need, they're more than welcome to call me, but that's only if it's extremely urgent kind of thing. Like if it's frozen over, backing up into people's basements and they need to have something taken care of, that's an urgent need. That would be something that they would call me for, but zoning wise, Sydney's gonna take over everything. I've already had a day with her where I've talked over everything and yeah, so
Yeah.
she knows fee scale, she knows the documents and everything, so. Yeah.
I don't have any more questions.
Hmm.
That,
I do not have, no.
We need to make a decision on the wage, and then
do we? There's no action on that agenda.
But I still need to be able to submit something to you guys before I'm off.
she needs to know how much to put in there.
I need to submit my budget to Rachel, because I will not be able to,
do it.
I won't be able to do it when
I thought we were doing just freehand, like Mike said in the meeting, free hands, there we
Just
go.
do whatever you wanna do,
We are just waving the hands.
whatever you wanna do.
So I would, have everything set. I would do the wages at, $25.82. Then I would add up my totals and send those to Rachel, if that's what you guys approve. But I do need you guys to actually kind of approve that, because I need to be able to submit something to Rachel, because I will not be here. That's why we're doing this meeting early.
I would like to state that differently than what you just did, though. I would like
Yeah.
to state it that your base rate is increased from, I don't have it in front of me.
2270 to
Your base
25.
rate on January 1 would be increased from 2270 to 25, and then cost of living increase would be applied to that.
Okay, so
new
you
base
want,
rate.
so you want it to take place, so I would get a raise at on January 1?
Your new base rate
On
would take
January 1.
effect, no, July 1.
Okay, you said January.
Did I say January?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You did.
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
no.
July 1, okay,
Your
that's
new
fine.
base rate takes effect July 1.
Okay.
And then
And
that
then-
cost of living increase is applied to that new base rate.
Yep, okay.
That way it's clarified.
Yep, and if you guys when you guys make that motion, that'll be fine. I'll just have to figure that in as, I'll have to write that down as 2582.
Can we make that motion
We're
since it's
just-
not an action item on
I
there?
think we're just doing
It's
consensus.
just discussion, yeah, I don't know, legally, can you,
No, this isn't an action deal.
no, this isn't an action, it's
This
just
is just
discussion.
consensus. Just write your budget as 2582. We approve it, we don't.
That's that's kind of what we said we're gonna be doing with every department, is they'll come propose to us, and then we don't do any action with it
No.
until the final, and then we figure out our budget, and then that's when things get approved or not approved.
Correct.
Alright, so if we're just making proposal today, then I'm gonna be proposing $25 an hour and 82 cents.
There you go.
And I will be finishing that off and sending it to Rachel. So is there any concerns about justification for it, or if there's anything that you guys are concerned about with my budget after reviewing it? I know it was not 100% complete. I'll be doing the 7.65% on FICA and the 9.44 on IPERS, and I'll be getting a total. If you guys want me to, after I'm done doing those totals, I can send you the complete worksheet.
I would like
Yeah.
that.
So that way you guys can actually see it and have your eyes on it. Other than that,
Easy peasy.
my last day is next Monday. So, and then you guys will not see me for 3 months.
Well, enjoy the summer rolls.
Thanks.
All right. Any other discussion? We'll adjourn at 10:32. Thank you.
Thanks. Is there anything we could do done with that?
Yeah, we're down to that.
I don't know how to shut it off.